Baseball's back from the All-Star break with a marquee clash at historic Wrigley Field. Will the NL Central leading Cubs roll on, or can Boston's bats spoil the party? The public's on one side, but the smart money might be on the other. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Split Labs, your go-to for daily betting splits, win probabilities, and betting breakdowns. If you love beating the books, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an edge. Let's head to Chicago. First pitch is 2:20 p.m. Eastern, and we've got the Red Sox, 53-45, taking on the Cubs, 57-39, at Wrigley Field. This is a tight one. The Cubs are slight favorites at minus 130 on the money line, while Boston comes in as a plus 110 dog. The total is set at 8.5 runs, and the run line gives the Cubs plus 172 to cover minus 1.5, while the Sox are laying heavy juice at minus 210 to stay within one. Let's start with the arms. Colin Ray gets the ball for the Cubs, 7-3 on the season with a 3.91 ERA. Nothing flashy, but he's been reliable. And more importantly, the Cubs are 9-5 against the spread when Ray starts as a favorite. Wrigley tends to favor pitchers early in the day, and Ray's been solid at home. Across the field, it's Lucas Giolito for Boston. He's got the better ERA at 3.36 and is holding opponents in check. But, and this is key, he's given up 8 homers in just 72 innings at Wrigley, and we know how the wind can mess with fly balls here. That's a concern. Now here's where it gets spicy. Let's look at the Split Labs data. Moneyline bets, 54% of bets are on the Cubs, and they're pulling in 55% of the money. Clean, public side. Spread, huge lean on Chicago, 72% of bets and 80% of the money is on the Cubs to win by 2 or more. Total, this is where the sharp money shows up. 54% of bets are on the over, but 56% of the money is on the under. That's a classic reverse line movement setup, and we've seen this hit time and time again. Look, the Cubs are at home, have momentum, and the public is all over them. That usually screams trap, but this is one of those rare times where we actually agree with the public, at least on the run line. You're getting plus 172 for the Cubs to win by 2 or more against a Boston team that might not have the bullpen depth to hang late. But the real edge? It's the total. You've got 2 mid-rotation guys who can keep things under control early. Combine that with a sharp lean on the under, and I think we could see this stay low scoring, maybe a 4-2 or 5-3 final.
All right, let's talk strikeout props for this one and what the Split Labs strikeout predictor is seeing for both pitchers in Game 1. Lucas Giolito, Red Sox, line 4.5 Ks, over minus 165 or under plus 125. Our prediction, under. Let's be clear, Giolito's stuff plays. He averages close to 5 Ks per start and limits damage well, but the matchup here is brutal. The Cubs rank top 5 in nearly every contact metric: hits, runs, OBP, SLG. 5th in strikeout avoidance with just 743 Ks on the season. So even though the number is only 4.5, the model leans under. This isn't a trust issue with Giolito, it's respect for how disciplined this Cubs lineup is, especially at home. That's your game and strikeout breakdown for Game 1. And as always, this tool gets sharper by the day. We're feeding in real splits, matchup discipline scores, and recent pitcher usage. So check back before first pitch for any updated leans. Now let's roll into Game 2, where we've got another live arm and some sketchy public action to dissect.
Real quick, if you're into breakdowns like this, you'll love what we've got going on at splitlabs.net. We track public betting splits across every sport. NBA, MLB, NFL, you name it. Plus matchup insights, team rankings, and even prop predictors to help you spot edges before the lines move. This isn't just picks. It's the same data the books are using to set prices, and we make it easy to read and actually use. You can try it free for 7 days, and if you like it, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. No BS, no sportsbook affiliation, just clean, transparent data for smarter betting. All right, back to the breakdown.
All right, game 2. And listen, this one is all about the money movement. We've got the Chicago White Sox sitting at a brutal 32-65, heading to Pittsburgh to face the Pirates, who, let's be real, aren't exactly world beaters themselves at 39-58. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Eastern, and the books have Pittsburgh locked in as minus 164 favorites. That's a steep price for a sub-500 team. And here's where it gets spicy. 84% of all bets and a whopping 87% of the money is coming in on the Pirates' money line. That's not just the public getting excited, that's a tidal wave. But you gotta ask yourself, do the Pirates really deserve this kind of confidence? Now, on the run line, it's a little more tame. 56% of bets and 51% of money are on Pittsburgh to win by 2 or more. That's still a lean, but it's nowhere near the flood of action on the straight ML. And the total? Set at 8.5 runs, with 55% of bets and 53% of money on the under. So the betting market sees this as a slower, lower scoring grind of a game, which makes covering a minus 1.5 spread even tougher. So what do we do with this? This is where you fade the trap. The Pirates are being treated like a playoff team by the market today, and they're not. They've been inconsistent, their bullpen is shaky, and this line screams overreaction to a lopsided matchup. Meanwhile, the White Sox, yeah, they've been a disaster, but they're still a major league team getting plus 1.5 on the run line in what's projected to be a low-scoring game. That's a play we've seen cover all year in these ugly matchups. So here's the move for Game 2. Lean. White Sox plus 1.5. You're getting value fading the inflated chalk and grabbing a free run in what could easily be a 4-3 type of game. Caution on Pirates ML. When 87% of the money is stacked on one side for a team under 500, that's not a bet, that's a trap. We recommend not betting this, not even in a hope and pray parlay. Let me know in the comments, are you trusting the market steam or fading it with the Sox? And if you're getting value from this breakdown, smash that like, hit subscribe, and stick around because we've got strikeout props in Game 3 on deck.
All right, let's wrap up the slate with Game 3, and this one's shaping up to be the biggest public mismatch of the day. We've got the Angels at 47 and 49 heading to Philly to take on the Phillies, who sit at 55 and 41. First pitch is set for 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and the books are hanging a big number on this one. Phillies are minus 205 on the money line, with the Angels coming back at plus 172. This is one of the widest lines on the board today, and bettors are treating it like a sure thing. Let's talk about the splits. 73% of bets are on the Phillies MLT. But what matters more? 70% of the money is also on Philly. And that kind of consensus usually spells one thing: no value. And it's not just the money line. 78% of bets and 85% of money are on the Phillies minus 1.5 run line. That is an absolutely loaded public side, and the books are letting it build with no major line movement, which is always a red flag. Now let's peek at the total. The line's set at 8.5 runs, and it's leaning heavily toward the under. 66% of bets and 55% of money on the low side. That tells me this could turn into more of a pitcher's duel than people are expecting, which again makes that minus 1.5 play even riskier. So how do we read this? The Phillies are the better team, no question, but this market is absolutely bloated. You've got the public laying over minus 200 juice, hammering the run line, and treating this like a lock. Meanwhile, the Angels actually have a 46% win probability. That's not some bottom-dwelling coin flip. And if the total stays low, even a 4-3 or 5-4 final would blow up the Philly run line. Split Labs leans for Game 3.
Pass on the ML teen and run line. Too much steam, not enough edge. Lean under 8.5 with that many smart tickets hitting the under and both teams having something to play for. This could tighten up late. No value on LAA plus 1.5 either. Just 15% of the money is backing them to cover. No confidence there. And that wraps your Game 3 breakdown. We opened with value on the Cubs run line, dodged a trap in Pirates, White Sox, and now close with a cautionary tale in Philly. The public might be right, but they might be walking into another overvalued favorite. If you're riding any of these spots, drop a comment and let me know. Don't forget to smash that like, subscribe for daily betting breakdowns, and check back before first pitch for any last-minute line movement. I'm with Split Labs. See you on the next slate. Let's cash some tickets.